Okay, I'm live. I'm Mike Caton from Ace Method Coaching. And if you are new to this, let me tell you a little bit about what's going on. I have a website, actually a business called Ace Method Coaching, a website, acemethodcoaching.com, and a YouTube channel that you are watching right now. I provide coaching and training for hurdlers and hurdle coaches, both who need help. I do a lot of online coaching where a person will send me their videos and then we're either on Zoom talking about how to get better, giving them advice. Sometimes they'll email them to me. Also, I sell training plans for hurdlers and also instructional videos. You can check them all out at acemethodcoaching.com. But if you already know that, then you know what this is all about. Whereas I also get a lot of free requests, and I select 5 videos each week of the many that I get, and that's what you're seeing today. I selected 5, and these are a combination of some high schoolers and some middle schoolers, various levels of ability, but I'm going to look at their videos, give them some quick advice, because that's the way this show works. If you actually do a session with me, it's much more involved. Spend a lot of time on your video, a lot of time giving you advice. But these are real quick, like 5 minutes each, maybe, so I can get through them. Anyway, that's it. If you are also not new, you'll notice that I've got a different background here. It's only because I had to move my office to a different place. Got some changes going on. It seems like there's more echo in this room, so I'm hoping that it's not a problem for the microphone here. But anyway, I'm going to jump on in. Let me change my screen. Okay, these are the 5 athletes that we're looking at today. First, I'm going to look at Alex, then LaVelle, then Cameron, then Elijah, then Eric. Okay. If your name isn't on there and you sent me your videos within the last few weeks, I apologize, I didn't get to select you. There's a handful of them that came in today and late yesterday. Those are still on the possibility for next week, but right now I'm looking at a few that I got this week and some of them from last week, just because the quality was a little bit better last week than the ones that I'm getting. Okay, so this person here is Alex. Alex is a 7th grader, first year hurdling, and just overall wants help with his technique and how to get faster. So what I'm going to do, Alex, I'm going to play you in full speed here. Okay, I can tell you that if I were your coach, I would be excited that I have a kid who looks like he has some good potential. Okay, I'll tell you what I like. It looks like you're very serious about it. I like your foot strike, landing on the balls of your feet. I have too many athletes that don't do that. But let's talk about what needs to improve, okay? First is your starts. And I'm not going to go into that because that's not what I do on this show. But definitely you need to do some research or talk to your coach about helping you with the starting blocks. Because here's what's happening. This right here is sort of a stumble out of the blocks onto your left foot. And the way that you are positioned in the blocks, you have your left foot forward. That means that as you push back on the blocks, the first leg that you're going to move forward is your right leg. So I shouldn't see your left leg come forward. I should see your right leg come forward. Okay? So what's happening here is you're getting an extra step and you're taking 9 steps to the first hurdle, where really you only want to take 8 steps to the first hurdle. And then when we watch you, you can tell that they're kind of small steps. And that's because of what you did. So if you want to go over the hurdle with your right leg, I suggest that you switch things up and okay, you just switch your blocks up so you can do it. What I'm not understanding is how you, the reason why I pause there is normally if you, and it's possible because you're far away from the camera, I'm reading it wrong, meaning which one's back and which one's, okay, actually, you know what? This makes most sense because I can see the block back here. So what happened is the video that you sent me starts a fraction of a second late where your foot is already moving. That makes the most sense. Okay, what you need to do then is you need to switch your blocks so that your left foot is forward and your right foot is back. That way, you bring your right foot forward first and you get 8 steps to the first hurdle and you're able to go over the hurdle with your right leg. Okay, that's what's going on here. The other thing is okay, there's a name for this. It's like cheating or pseudo, where you're not really driving out of the blocks. You're kind of bent, you're hunched over at the waist, but it's not really driving. Driving out of the blocks is when your feet are behind you and you have your feet underneath you to give you balance. And so you're losing speed on that, okay? So again, spend some time learning how to come out of blocks, and it's gonna help your hurdling a lot, okay? Because you're taking these tiny steps, and then your last step, you're reaching out in front of you and then getting it too far in front of your center of mass here, and that's putting on the brakes, which is slowing you down. Your last 2 steps, you got some braking action going on, okay? So the other thing is got a few things. Okay, see how you're lifting like a straight leg? Like you don't bend it enough. Usually at this point here, you want your heel to come up to your butt and stay tucked there, still into here. Your foot should still be up by your butt, and then drive this knee straight forward towards the top of the hurdle. But what you're doing is you have your knee too opened, and you're lifting a straight leg. And that's giving you a lot of lift, right? And that's bringing you too high over this hurdle. This is way too high. So you can see that if we watch, let's say we look at your hips, and they're going forward along the line of the grass, where the grass and the concrete is right here. And then you lift really high, and it should stay going forward all the time, okay? So you're getting a big lift, your arms look okay, but you're not pushing hard enough off of this trail leg, and you're certainly not pushing in the right direction. You want to push forward, not up. So drive your knee forward, your whole body go forward. And then also you're pulling your trail leg too soon through, and it's also hanging down low. See, and because it's down low and underneath you, you're having to jump so high as to not let it hit you, okay? So you're too high over the hurdle, probably about 14 to 16 inches here. And then you're all twisted up here because of the fact that you didn't push off properly off this leg, pulled it through too soon, and you pulled it underneath you. So it's rotating through too early, too soon, too much. And this is a really not good look coming off a hurdle right here. Yeah, this shouldn't look like this at all. In fact, right now, when your heel is ready to come down, you should have finally Pull that trail leg through, and it should be your knee up near your chest now. But you already have it coming down. So it's as if your trail leg timing is all wrong. And then, let's see here. So step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Okay. And then obviously, I think you know that the goal is to do 3 steps instead of 5. But the problem is you lost speed going into the hurdle, then you lost speed jumping over the hurdle, and then so you don't have enough speed to get to the next hurdle in 5 steps. Okay? When I look at you and I watch you run, I feel like you have the ability to do that. But you just need to stop losing so much speed going at and over the hurdle, and you'll be able to do it. The other thing is, I would practice with your hurdles pinched closer to a spacing that you can 3-step at, get good at the rhythm of 3-stepping, and then gradually spread it out over time rather than practicing with full spacing, okay? And I've said that about 1,000,000 times probably in every other review that I do and in many videos that I have on YouTube, so I'm not going to go into the full explanation right here. But I tell you what I am going to do. I'm going to send you a copy of my Hurdling 101 and 201. You need both. Okay, I would recommend going back to the drawing board quickly with 101, and then you will very quickly advance into 201, and you'll need that. So for anybody who's wanting to learn, those are really good tools for you. So Alex, I'm going to send it to you. Okay, moving on to LaVelle. Okay, LaVelle is a junior in high school, 2nd year hurdling. Says he can't, having a hard time 3-stepping. And he also said that he can't stop bringing his trail leg over around the side of the hurdle, which I think is funny, which I'm going to play this video. So. Okay, so you look to be able to get over the hurdles in 3 steps. So I'm not sure, unless they're not spaced properly, and I can't, actually it looks like it's a mark there. So I think you're doing great. But it's funny how you're saying, because indeed, anybody watching this, you can see that he's cheating by pulling his trail leg around the side of the hurdle, right? So it's not, his ankle isn't going over the hurdle. So LaVelle, the easy way to fix this is to put another hurdle right next to you, like you would have in a race, and you'll have to pull your trail leg over that hurdle because you can't swing it around the side like this, okay? That's a quick fix. Okay, so let me tell you, let me back up. Let me tell you what I like. Okay, I like that. I like the way you, off of your plant leg here, that you extend really nicely here. And you can see it when I watch you in full speed. You just get a really nice push off of your plant leg, and it keeps you pretty nice and not too high over the hurdle. I see you're doing a run to the finish line thing. That's a good thing I have my hurdlers do to start building up their endurance. We might do that the first month. Okay, all right, now things you need to work on. First off is opposite of what Alex was doing. You're only running, kind of scooting along, landing with your feet out in front of you on your heels. So all that is slow for sprinting, and all of that is a braking action. It's going to slow you down. You need to get your feet underneath you, try to push back into the track versus stepping out in front of you, jabbing into the track, putting on the brakes, okay? Let's see, so see how you're leaning backwards as you go into this hurdle? Not ideal. And then right here, you do like a little crunch down right here that I would not do that. Try to just bring yourself forward. Don't crunch down low. I think what you're doing is you're trying to do that as a way to stay low over the hurdle, but it's really, I can tell that it's really not working because look how high you are over the hurdle, right? So instead of cheating by bringing your shoulders down but letting your hips go up, keep your shoulders forward and don't go up, okay? So let me show you a few things. First off, I like how your leg looks here, your lead leg. But see how here you are with your heel right on top of the hurdle? And this looks really good if you took your whole body and then rotated it down a little bit, because you have about 12 inches from here to here, and it should barely be skimming. Your heel should skim the top of this hurdle, not be so high over the hurdle. So you're actually projecting yourself up versus forward, okay? But the position of it, like the way the knee looks and your body looks, this looks great. Again, if you were rotated, just down a little bit versus up. Everything else looks really good. Okay, and then, okay, I should say, let me take back what I said about everything else looking good. So let's look at your trail arm. You're holding it out to the side, and you should let it swing back. Keep it bent at 90 degrees or less. So I shouldn't see your arm here. Your elbow should be behind you, and your wrist should swing right past your hip bone, okay? Your lead arm is okay, except now you're pulling it back almost straight, and you want to pull it back 90 degrees. And then, partly because you're too high, I do like your distance from the hurdle, and I do like the way you're coming down close to the hurdle. But your trail leg, here's the problem with your trail leg that you were wondering about. Oh, also see how your shoulders are all rotated towards the camera? We shouldn't see your chest like this. You want to keep your shoulders and your hips straight, but you let your hips and your shoulders open up. And that's a little bit unusual and not the way it should be. So keep hips straight over the hurdle, shoulders straight over the hurdle. And then the whole thing about dragging it around like you're doing, we'll see it right here. You want to bring your heel right up to your butt and then hold it there as it swings around and let it go over that hurdle. And then you will land kind of like this. This is not bad. You're recovering because you're fast and you've done this for a long time. But like I said, keep the hips and shoulders squared up. And then also running on your heel, and you're all hunched over. You want to get up tall. You want to sprint between the hurdles, not run bent over like this. This is not allowing you to run full speed. Okay? So all that's my advice to you. I hope that helps. Okay, Cameron is next. Cameron lane 9, white shirt, green shorts. 12th grade, third year hurdling. First year able to 3-step. Technique, leg speed. Okay, this is not right. Okay, no, I guess it is. He did say white t-shirt, green shorts. Okay. All right, so Cameron, here's my thing with you. I'm going to play it in full speed first. Oop. Okay, So the whole rhythm that you have, boom, ta ta ta, boom, ta ta ta, boom, ta ta ta, boom, ta ta ta, boom, ta. Okay, so that's kind of a rhythmical thing I do sometimes with hurdlers because you want the boom sound to be when you go over the hurdles. So you want it to be like boom ta ta ta, boom ta ta ta, boom ta ta ta, or boom ta ta ta, boom ta ta ta, boom ta ta ta. But you're going boom ta ta ta, boom. So you're just turning over so slowly. And this is what I think is the reason, is because you are practicing at full height, full spacing, and then you've just learned this rhythm, and that's what you're comfortable doing, but it's not fast. Okay? It doesn't look like you're racing. It looks like you're just, got this rhythmical movement over hurdles. And in fact, even right here, you're like leaning back, like, and then rocking forward. And this, because look how high you are. You are about a foot over the hurdle. Okay, so you actually the fact that you can clear the hurdles in 3 steps, going probably half speed, is impressive. And which, if I were coaching you, I would say stop doing this and just go full speed, like all out, full speed sprint to the hurdle, and you will be amazed, and it'll feel totally different because it's not what you're doing. Okay, you're just sort of, like I said, doing this thing that just to clear these things rhythmically. Okay, and then you're just jumping way too high. So you need to stop being afraid of the hurdle, because look, I can see that's a slow down step, that's a slow down step, that's a slow down step, and then you jump way high over the hurdle. And then the way your camera is so far away. I mean, you're just so high over the hurdle. And this is the look of somebody who's jumping from a height, or like long jumping. You're just too high, and then you finally land, and then you got to stretch out, leap through the air like a gazelle. That's a huge second step. This is, the bounding drills. This is a bounding drill. It's not even a run. And I don't mean to make fun of you. I am having fun with it, but I'm not making fun of you. I think that once you do this, it's going to click, and you're instantly going to drop 2 seconds off of your hurdling and be really formidable and really one of the better hurdlers. But you have to stop what you're doing, and you need to just commit to going full speed. So what I would do is pretty much the same advice for everybody, is I would pull your hurdles in closer, pinch them in to a space you feel like you could 3-step at, and stay low, and just feel what it's like to run full speed with quick steps. And then what you're going to find out is you're coming up too quick, or too close to the next hurdle, and you have to space it out. But you're now doing it with fast strides on the balls of your feet, getting your feet underneath you, pushing back on the track, versus the bounding that you're doing. Okay, that's like a plyometric. Okay, but yeah, I think you could be really, really good at this. I really do. Okay, I'm going to send you, in fact, to make it simple, everybody on this call, I'm just going to send them my hurdling 101, 201. It'll be one email. Okay, moving on to Elijah. Elijah, this is not the US. I don't know where it is. But Elijah wins this race easily. It's in the red jersey. Elijah is 10th grade. Obviously faster than all his competitors, but says he wants to know how to clear the hurdle faster and have a faster pace between the hurdles. And I can help you. Because you have a lot of ability. But here's what I want you to notice. Number one, I'll tell you, I'm going to talk about the hurdling first, then I'll tell you about the speed between the hurdles. So look how crazy high you are over this hurdle. That is really high. Also, notice how far away you're landing from the hurdle, okay? And we'll see the same thing here. Way high over the hurdle, and then landing probably twice as far as you should be, okay? So why are you doing that? Because it's not as if you're taking off too close, so therefore you're having to land farther. You're actually taking off from a good distance. You're just jumping too high and too far. So it's almost like you're trying to go for distance and height. So you're probably a very good long jumper. But this isn't about who can go the highest and the farthest. This is about who can clear this hurdle the fastest, which is the question you had for me coming in. And you can do that by going flatter over that hurdle and just not jumping, not pushing so hard off going up, and you won't land it. And you just want to give it enough energy just to clear it and then touch down as close to the hurdle on the other side as possible. That's what you want to do. So work on that. The movement of your leg is really good, your lead leg. Your trail leg is probably okay, but you're so high. And then your arms are just out straight like a helicopter. Yeah, oh, look at that. Now they're both behind you. I don't know how you manage that. Okay, so you want them to swing. Okay, you're just like everyone else on this call. I'm going to send you my 101, 201, so you'll see what you need to do to fix all these problems. Okay, but then the other thing is the way you're running between the hurdles. See how, just like someone else I was looking at on here, you're like bent over. Get up tall, okay? Get your feet underneath you. And you're gonna be really great. So if you could just sprint properly between the hurdles and then go low over the hurdle versus jumping up, you're gonna be twice as far ahead of these hurdlers as you are right now, because you already look pretty good. Okay, moving on to the last one of the day. This is Eric. Okay, Eric, 10th grade, first year hurdling, lane 7, doesn't win this race. The funny thing is, when I asked Eric, what do you need help with? He said, everything. So he's the guy that the camera's on right now. That's Eric. Okay, so you're right, Eric. You need help with a little bit of everything. I really admire your willingness to send me your video and get better at this. So here's where I start to see you pretty good. Okay, first thing is going into the hurdle, you are lifting too much of a straight leg, just like someone else in this series of people that I did today. And so it's one of the things that's causing you to go too high. And you can see that you're way too high over the hurdle. See the way that your trail leg is underneath you? That's one of the reasons you're going too high, because you need to do that in order to clear it. So this is just not a good look of landing on a hurdle, because your trail leg was underneath you and you pulled it through too soon. And then your arms are both straight and hanging low. And then you just wait for gravity to drop you into the track here. Boom. And then you see from the time you touch down, and then the sinking into the track, you watch this. Sink, 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 okay? So you're kind of like, you put yourself in a hole here, and then your knees are collapsed. and then you got to climb out of that hole, and you're taking 5 baby steps, and then you're lifting a straight leg. Okay, so here's again, you definitely need 101 and 201 because you need the fundamentals. Okay. If I were your coach, I'd say, okay, we're not going to race until you're ready, because doing this, you're just reinforcing bad technique, in my opinion. Yeah. So I don't know that you are ready to 3-step this year. You're in 10th grade. I do think you should first learn how to 4-step, which means you're going to go over, alternate legs over the hurdles, but that's going to be good for you. And then get that down, and then see if you get better. Can you eventually 3-step? And I know eventually you can. I just don't know if it's going to be sophomore year from what I'm seeing here. But you definitely need to fix some things. The hurdling 101 and 201 is going to be really good for you. Okay. All right. So those are the 5 that I'm looking at today. I am going to change my screen here. Bounce out to see. Okay. I did not mention if you had some questions, you could put questions on here and I would answer them at the end. And nobody put any there. But know that in advance, in the future, when I do these, when I finish with the videos and I come out, I'll look to see if there's any questions and I'll take those questions. But one of the things, just know that if you want me to review your video, go to acemethodcoaching.com, go to the hurdle page. It's pretty clear. It's free hurdle video review, technique analysis, and you'll see there I do a pretty good effort to convince you that the smarter thing to do would be to do a virtual session with me, so I can do you more justice than what I do on these quick little reviews here. But still, a lot of athletes opt for this and roll the dice and hope that I select them. Up to you. But if you really are serious about your hurdling and you want to do well this season, do a session with me. You will not regret it. Nobody has regretted it because it's a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and nobody so far has ever said they were unhappy. In fact, it's the other way around. So anyway, I hope this helped everybody. That's it. I know most of you are in the first few weeks of your season. Some of you are starting soon. Some of you are probably a month into your season, but the bulk of the United States is probably having their first meets this weekend. So good luck to most of you, and reach out to me if you need some help. Have a good day. Coach Ace out.